Yeah, yeah.
Are you getting that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Good. Hi there, everybody. If you wouldn't mind taking your seats, thank you so much. Thank you. We're going to get started as soon as I have the clicker, which I'm glad this happened to me and not the startups. Thank you so much for being here. So thank you all so much for joining us this evening, whether in person here at the University of Sydney or online. My name is Jen Muratori. I am the Community and Engagement Manager at INCUBATE. What that means is that I've been lucky enough to have a front row seat. Thank you. What that means is that I've been lucky enough to have a front row seat to watch the 11 startups that you're going to see tonight on their journey in the 14 weeks of the Accelerator program. It's been a genuine privilege getting to know these founders and their ideas, and I'm so excited for you to be able to see their pictures tonight at INCUBATE Class 20 Accelerator Demo Day. First, we'd like to begin proceedings by warmly inviting Auntie Joan Bell to the stage for a welcome to country.
Thank you. Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and distinguished guests. Gee, I get the feeling you're waiting for me to do a soft shoe shuffle. Not today. I was invited to come and welcome you to my country. You see, this is my country. It's Gadigal country. And as a Gadigal elder, I have the right, and it is my privilege to welcome you to my country. And before I get going, isn't this fascinating? I was sitting at the back there, listening to these guys. It's unbelievable the things that they come up with, hey? Yeah. Some smart cookies there. Congratulations. Wish us all the luck in the world. Hope everybody jumps at us, truly. To get going, I would like to make an acknowledgement. And I'd like to acknowledge the Metropolitan Local Aboriginal Land Council, because Metro Lauk is the body for the protection and preservation of all Aboriginal culture and heritage within its boundaries. That includes Sydney CBD and surrounding local 24 government areas, from Canterbury Bankstown to Cessnock. And we are proud to acknowledge all respective traditional owners and custodians for this place that we now call Sydney. A wee bit about me. My name is Joan Bell. My family and friends call me Auntie Ding. Ding Bell, it rhymes. I'm very proud of that because everybody knows me as Auntie Ding. I am a proud Wiradjuri Gadigal woman. Wiradjuri from my mum. My mum was a very proud Wiradjuri lady who lived on an Aboriginal mission. It was called Bulgandra Aboriginal Reserve. And she lived there for a time. And her father, my grandfather, was told to take the kids and go because the Protection Board was coming to the mission to take the kids. So they did. They packed 11 kids, his wife, and they moved, went to Peak Hill, in the scrub in Peak Hill, where my grandfather built a humpy, and that's where they lived. My mother loved that. I had a time there. My dad built us a little humpy in the scrub in Peak Hill. Nothing like it. You got freedom, you don't have to wear shoes, you can just swing through the trees and please yourself what you do. Those were the days. I get Gadigal from my dad. My dad was the most staunchest and bravest of Gadigal warriors. My dad's stomping ground was down at the Rocks, Sydney Cove. That's where my ancestors hail from. And they were taken from there because in the times when the people invaded us, the prominent people of the times didn't like to see the black kids running around in front of them. So there was a place built out at Parramatta, and it was called the the Parramatta's Natives Institute, and that's where they took my gang, my mobs to. I am a mother of 10, a grandmother, a great-grandmother, and I'm a great-great-grandmother of 82 grandchildren. So I have my paddock filled. You guys, you know, 1 and 2, come on. You've got to have a family. Have a family, that's where the love and the respect comes in. My Gadigal ancestor, he was a local custodian who was taken to Parramatta's Natives Institute, and in 1845 was taken by Reverend John Cartwright to Pajong, Gundingara country near Gunning, New South Wales, to work. We honour our Gadigal Eora elders and leaders, including Barangaroo, Pemaway, and many others who fought the first boat people who landed in Sydney Cove in 1770 and 1778. My respects to Gadigal elders past and present. We honour our matriarchs and patriarchs. Because of them, we can. Always was, always will be Aboriginal land. My respects to elders and peoples from other nations and other First Nations here today. Welcome. This welcome to country is made in the spirit of peace and harmony with all peoples of modern Sydney. Our aim as local custodians is to establish an atmosphere of mutual respect through the acknowledgement of our ancestors and the recognition of our right to declare our special place in the pre- and post-history of the Sydney region. Evidence of our occupation, ownership and nationhood can be seen everywhere throughout our country. Our signature is in the land, not just in our DNA. Respect is taking responsibility for the past, the present, and the future. I speak a lot about respect. I try to instill that into all my kids and my extended kids. With this welcome, we ask that you all will respect the law, the LORE of the land, and the law, the LAW of the country. Give honour, be respectful, be polite, be gentle and patient with all. Respect is everything, living and growing. Please, look after the land, sea and rivers. Then the land, sea and rivers will look after you. This is my welcome to you from the heart. I welcome you to the land of my Gadigal ancestors. I welcome you to my Eora Gadigal country. Welcome to my country. Thank you. Welcome.
Will you now please join with me in welcoming to the stage the Director of Engaged and Work Integrated Learning, Professor Felicity Blackstock.
Thank you, Jen, for that warm welcome, and I will speak briefly. I must first of all commence by saying thank you very much to Auntie Joan for that very warm welcome to country. I also need to send apologies from Professor Richard Miles, who's our Pro-Vice-Chancellor, Education and Enterprise. He was to be here to speak to you and open this evening. I'm stepping into his place as unfortunately he is unwell and therefore sends his apologies. On that note, please excuse me as I refer to my notes, as this is a little bit of an impromptu welcome to everybody. So I do want to start by saying that innovation and entrepreneurship is core to the work that the University of Sydney does, and INCUBATE is a particular key component to the ecosystem that supports the ideas of all of our community to actually become commercial entities. Kaiman this year has stepped into our INCUBATE lead role, and I'd like to take this moment to congratulate him and the entire INCUBATE team on the successes that they've had and the impact they have on nurturing founders. The dedication to mentorship, networking, and putting on events like this evening is outstanding. So thank you very much, Kaiman and all of INCUBATE. A particular mention beyond all of the programs that INCUBATE runs is that they've also gone above and beyond this year with a successful launch of our Startup Year program, which is a new 6 to 12-month program for entrepreneurship, for entrepreneurs that is embedded within curriculum and is in partnership with our School of Business. It's great to see that we're continuing to expand our offerings to provide as many different opportunities for people who have lots of different pathways in life. But more importantly, we're here tonight to celebrate the success of Class 20. And the progress that Class 20 has made over the period of time of doing the Accelerate Incubate program. I very much look forward to hearing your pitches this evening. Your hard work has paid off and will continue to do so in the months to come. I'd also like to just pause for a moment and thank the friends and family who may be joining us tonight, of those founders who I do not doubt have been some inspiration and motivation, particularly when times get tough and you need to pick yourself back up and continue on that pathway. So thank you all to everyone there. And lastly, a warm welcome to all those who are here tonight who actively contribute to the entrepreneurial ecosystem. Humanity's future success will depend on creativity, investment, risk-taking, and hard work of all of those who are innovating. Thank you for being inspired to make a difference.
It is now my very, very great privilege to be able to welcome to the stage the organisational and program lead of INCUBATE. He has mentored and shepherded all of the 11 startups that you're going to see tonight through their 14 weeks in the Accelerator program, and also some of them in the Pre-Accelerator program and the Startup Fundamentals program. Yes, he does do it all. Yes, he will be signing autographs later. Yes, it is Mr. Kaiman Yun.
For someone who likes to be behind the stage, this is a little bit daunting, but let's see how we go. If I blank and just start speaking and I waffle, I guess we're here. Live stream. Hi, Mum. Hi, Dad. Hope you've got the live stream sorted out to watch this as well. Kia ora, everyone. Welcome to INCUBATE's demo day for Class 20. INCUBATE has been around for around a decade now, and while I could talk to you about the mission, the vision, and the guiding principles, which are shown in the slides above, I believe I can sum up what INCUBATE does in one word. That word is belief. Now, I want you all to think back on your own journey, career, education, and even personal. And I can guarantee you that there was someone that believed in you and didn't think you were crazy and delusional. That is what INCUBATE does. The term first believers gets thrown a lot in this industry, but at INCUBATE, we genuinely mean this. Do we provide education mentorship? Of course. But what we do is we find these people as early as possible, and we give them a place in the community for them to try out this entrepreneurial journey. That is Incubate. Incubate unequivocally says, give it a go, we believe in you, we're here for you physically, emotionally, and mentally, and let's see if this idea flies or explodes. Tonight, I have the privilege to introduce you to our 11 startups that we believed in, and we want to put a spotlight on them. Tonight, Incubate is the supporting actor and actress, and they are our main act. Now, these pitches are made for everyone, so if you're an investor in the startup industry and you want to know more information, I encourage you to go talk to them at the booths. We wanted to have a pitch that caters for everyone. Are you guys ready? Are you guys all ready? If so, let me introduce you to the first startup. Now, not gonna lie, I've learnt a lot when it comes to nail polish color codes and why a balayage costs so much more than my $25 haircut. The word trust pops up quite a lot. Here to tell you about a service you can rely on, Elisa Dubois and Kiana Chan from Bella.
And then we get in touch. Treating them like a human being. The most important
Something
question I
as
ask is
simple
the same
as a
exact
haircut
question.
can totally transform your entire day. It can be the difference between a successful job interview or a bad one, a great first date or a disaster, or the reason you're rushing to your weekend plans or avoiding them. After speaking with hundreds of Australians, we know one thing to be true. It's not just hair, it's self-confidence. Now, some of you might think this is trivial, but here's the proof. Australians are spending $431 every single month on beauty appointments. For women alone, the spend is even higher, with 10 different service categories to invest in. And even now, in tough economic times, people continue to prioritize these services. Why? Because beauty is essential, not a luxury. Yet finding a salon you can actually trust, that is where it all falls apart, and that's exactly where Bella comes in. My name is Elise, and this is Kiana, and we're the co-founders of Bella. We left our jobs in strategy consulting to change the future of beauty services. Now, there are 457 million beauty appointments booked every year, and that's just in Australia. That's billions of dollars flowing into an industry built entirely on trust, yet so many of us leave feeling unsatisfied. Take me, for example. I moved to Sydney 7 years ago, and I still don't have a regular hair salon. My routine is to Google best hairdresser near me and to spend hours researching where to go, trying to figure out if what Karen wrote on Google reviews 3 years ago is actually the truth. And I'm not alone. When we surveyed 200 women, 62% told us they struggle to find a salon they can trust. Just like me, people are trawling through various fragmented channels, not knowing whose recommendation they can rely on. And it's not just women who are hurting, it's the salons too. After endless conversations with salon owners, we know that 80% are struggling to fill their appointment books, leading to lost revenue, underutilized staff, and even salon shutdowns. This is a broken system, underserved by technology, until now.
Meet Bella. For salons, we're a way to reach new customers and fill appointments. For users, we make it easier than ever to find a salon you can trust. So how does this work? After 8 months of prototype testing, we've created a digital marketplace platform for discovering and booking beauty services. A platform built entirely by women for women. The best part about Bella is you can quickly see where your friends are visiting, reviewing, and loving. This means you're not guessing anymore. You're booking with confidence. We're the first platform in the industry to do this, because when we asked women what influences their choice in salons, the answer wasn't flashy ads or Instagram models. It was their friends, the women they trust. We're building an AI assistant to personalize your search so you get exactly what you need when you need it. And salons, these are small businesses who excel at beauty, not marketing. Bella connects them with the customers they need to fill their chairs. To put it simply, we're a matchmaker between women and salons. And the market for this, it's massive. Australians are spending $20 billion a year on beauty appointments. We start by winning our early adopters, tech-savvy, digitally native young women who are tired of wasting time, money, and trust on salons who don't deliver. With just a 5% commission fee charged to salons, that's a $174 million opportunity. But we're not stopping there. We monetize data and insights, add new services to cater to the needs of all women and men, and grow into adjacent industries, all with the plan to take Bella global. This year, we've won the Sydney Uni Genesis program, enabling us to test and iterate upon our solution. We've built the Bella community, and it's growing by the day. With $0 put into paid marketing, we have 400 users on our waitlist, eager for our platform. And we've reached over 500,000 individuals across social media. And we're excited to announce that as of just a few hours ago, with 60 salons on board, our MVP is live.
So why us? Well, after working side by side for 3 years at a top management consulting firm, we know how to build a technology solution that truly meets market needs. Unlike other beauty platforms, Bella is founded by 2 women who have actually lived the problem, putting us in a unique position to solve it. We're supported by a passionate team, and we're building our tech stack entirely in-house. We'll leave you with this. While it's often easy for startup ideas to be abstract, our problem is here, and it's here now. And women are begging for us to solve it. What's next? We're currently pre-seed raising for a direct path to 500 salons around New South Wales to grow our annual revenue to $2 million by 2026. With over 50% committed, the round will be closing shortly. So if you're interested in coming on the journey, please scan the QR code or come and have a chat. We're building trust in an industry that needs it desperately. An industry that is responsible for self-confidence. And Bella is here to make sure you never lose that again. Thank you.
Now, shoplifting is a major issue, irrespective of industry and stores. The only issue is that most people only look at one side of that problem. Here to help the vulnerable side as well, Dane Sheridan from Humane Vision.
For 5 years, I built software products for Australia's largest retailer. When I learned that in 2019, they lost $700 million to shoplifting, I had to see this problem for myself. I visited the store in Mona Vale and asked the store manager, what gets stolen from your store? He said, the usual razor blades, cosmetics, vitamins, oh, and cheese. Cheese? Like the fancy French stuff? And he said, no, this kind of cheese. Confused, I asked, why? That turned out to be a very impactful question. He told me it was mothers stealing to make sandwiches for their children. That insight hit me like a punch to the gut. Even in such a wealthy community, people were stealing to survive. But I kept looking. I looked where I expected to find shoplifting, in disadvantaged areas with high crime rates, and it was there, in spades. One store was losing $70,000 a week. And when I asked the loss prevention team, how much of this are we actually preventing? 3%. And I thought, bang, that's the needle to move. We build a better mousetrap, we save more cheddar. But still curious, I kept looking. One prospective customer in pharmacy told me that teenagers steal cosmetics and pensioners steal Panadol. Ouch, another gut punch of an insight. This pattern bore out over and over again. Retailers told me that they saw 3 types of shoplifters: organised criminals, opportunists, and vulnerable people. And when I saw that other retailers had deployed AI solutions into their stores to try and address their shoplifting problem and received terrible press and terrible feedback from their customers, I saw that there had to be a better way to address this problem. At its root, holistically. For our retailer customers, we want to earn and retain the trust of their communities. That is the way that they earn the social license to deploy an AI solution without that scary negative feedback, by addressing that problem holistically and giving those retailers the chance to address those root causes. So what does that solution look like? Well, in shoplifting, seeing the problem is more than half the battle, and the problem is human behavior. We deploy our AI model into the retailer's stores and connect it to their existing CCTV network. The AI watches every video feed from every camera simultaneously, looking for the telltale behaviors that point out shoplifting. And when it finds something, when it detects a shoplifting behavior, it takes a 5-second video clip and generates an alert to the retail staff so that they can take timely action with the right evidence right in their hands. But what happens next? This is called the moment of intervention. And it is scary and it is weird. Retail staff told us over and over again they really dislike doing interventions because they're afraid of what might happen. They said to us, what if they get aggressive? What if they hit me? So when we deploy our AI solution into the retailer store, we coach the staff on how to go through that moment of intervention humanely and safely. And the first thing we teach them is to play it cool. Hello, can I help? And how do the shoplifters respond? Mostly embarrassment. No thanks, I was just leaving. I want to take you back to the 2 insights that I felt on this journey that were like gut punches, about cheese and about Panadol. The shoplifters that we can detect are mothers that are stealing to make sandwiches for their children. They're pensioners who can't afford their painkillers. Or they're young people whose social circles are taking them down the wrong path. Or they have a substance abuse problem or a mental illness. But whatever their reason, they're still human. So after that moment of intervention, we give the retailer staff the option to refer these people to us, where we case manage them through our network of community service partners. We treat them like human beings. And the most important thing we ask them when we get in touch is that same impactful question that started me on this journey 5 years ago. Why? Because their why is our why. You can follow us right here through this QR code to our website. Come and have a chat with me afterwards. I'll be in the corner. And we would love to get in touch with any strategic investors with deep retail experience or social enterprise investors who can take us along on their journey so that we can build partnerships in technology, security, and community services. Thank you for sharing our vision.
It's pretty funny how old school becomes new school. From film cameras to wide leg jeans, reading has become cool again. Here to use this comeback to help with the loneliness epidemic, Leah Nesdale from Bookish.
Hi everyone, I'm Leah. I'm the founder of Bookish. I moved from New York to Sydney a little bit over a year ago. I had a vibrant life in New York. I worked in corporate marketing where I attended events like New York Fashion Week. On the weekends, my friends and I loved exploring all the different neighborhoods. We particularly liked going to all the local bookstores. However, I decided to get my MBA here at UCID, so off I went to Sydney. I was super excited about this move, but once I got here, I had never felt so lonely in my life. 1 in 4 young people today feel lonely. Here I was part of the statistic, across the world, desperate to make friends. It wasn't until I started attending book-related events where I was able to meet people with similar interests. We could always talk about books if nothing else. I then joined some run clubs and tennis groups and really started to build my community here. Actually, research has found that 60% of people who participate in these activities are there for social connection as their main priority. So people are looking for connection, particularly in person. This sparked an idea to meet with some bookstores here in Sydney. To no one's surprise, their biggest concern is book sales. Actually, many of them host fun events currently, and this experiential aspect is so important at a time when they're competing with the low prices of big chains like Kmart and Amazon. This inspired Bookish. Bookish is a phone app where readers can connect both online and offline, an ecosystem built around a love for books and supporting local bookstores. Think of it like a Strava for readers. And before I continue, I'm going to answer a question I often get. Why books? Why not movies or gaming or TV shows? Well, the book industry is major and steadily growing. Quick show of hands, who here in this room reads for fun? And you can be honest, I won't be upset. Okay, so we have quite a few readers in here. This statistic often shocks people, but actually 70% of Australian adults consider themselves regular recreational readers. And revenue within the book industry is expected to grow over 10% annually. The current book app market is made up of millions of users. As you can see, Goodreads is clearly in the lead here. However, Goodreads is owned by Amazon, the antithesis of your local bookstore. Readers, stores, and publishers are all looking for an ethical and fun alternative. The current apps are limited in their features. They all allow you to track and review books, but that community aspect is really lacking. Bookish is all about your personal network. What's ever in Newtown reading this month? Are there any November book clubs going on in Bondi? The MVP is currently live with beta testers. However, we're launching the formal version of the app by the end of the year. As you can see, within the homepage, users are able to see nearby events and see what friends are up to. Within the Books tab, they can discover new reads, rate and review books, and purchase books from local bookstores, of course. And each user and bookstore has their own unique profile. This is particularly important because bookstores are able to upload all of their upcoming events, whether it be book clubs, launches, author signings, poetry nights, and more. It's all curated for the reader in one place. Let's take a quick look at the revenue structure. So revenue comes from events, book sales, and additional streams, which includes advertisements and publishing house partnerships. As for the long-term vision for Bookish, we see it as a global presence, like a Strava or a ClassPass, a place where users can log in from any city in the world and quickly immerse themselves in the local community. So, who is ready to combat loneliness and build community with Bookish? Scan the QR code to sign up for the waitlist today. We are also open to initial conversations with investors around pre-seed investment. Thank you.
The term used by and best before often get confused, which means that perfectly good food is thrown out even though it can be consumed. Here to help save one packet of potato chips at a time, Maggie Quanch from Beyond Best Before. Okay. Do we feel like we need to do like some house rules about clapping when people come up?
Do I need to turn it on or it's all good? Yeah, cool. 7.6 million tons of food is thrown away every single year in Australia. To put that into perspective, that's the equivalent of 12,000 fully loaded Boeing 747s. What's even more shocking is most of this food is perfectly safe to eat. Food waste is more than just misconceptions around the food date. It's last-minute cancellations from the supermarket, product packaging changes, excess stock from over-forecasting, and the general challenges of managing short-dated products. Well, that's where Beyond Best Before steps in. We're on a mission to reframe how people think about the food date, and in doing so, reduce unnecessary waste. Our business sources products that is short date or just past its best before date, but still of a high quality and perfectly safe to eat. We then sell it at a discount, giving customers the chance to save on groceries while contributing to a more sustainable future. In fact, the potential impact is huge. The global food surplus market is expected to reach $54 billion by 2027. And in Australia, as consumers continue to prioritise affordable and sustainable food options, the opportunity for growth is vast. Australia is also committed to the United Nations strategic vision of reducing food waste with the aim of halving food waste across the nation. At Beyond Best Before, we're tapping into this shift by offering customers the chance to reduce food waste while aligning with global and national sustainability goals. Beyond Best Before is uniquely positioned to meet this demand. Our e-commerce platform and our physical stores make it easy for customers to purchase pantry items that are often overlooked. From canned goods to snacks to gourmet cheese, we offer a wide selection of products that are just as good as the ones on your supermarket shelves, but at a fraction of the price. We're also about making a positive impact. At Beyond Best Before, we educate customers on the difference between the use by date and the best before date, empowering them to make smarter decisions. Because every purchase made with us is one step closer towards a more sustainable future where food is valued and not wasted. We've already seen significant traction. Our mission has been featured on the major platforms like Channel 9, Channel 10, SBS, Money Magazine, The Guardian, and we've also been recognised in Parliament House. We're really proud to be a part of this movement that is tackling the food waste crisis. The future is bright. We're operating at the intersection of sustainability and affordability. And as consumers continue to prioritise these values, the opportunity for growth is vast. We've already proven that there's demand for what we offer. With gross profit margins well over 50%, and with the right support, we can scale our operations. We can reach more consumers, we can rescue even more food, and we can amplify our impact. This is just the beginning. With your support, we can reach more households and rescue even more food and drive even greater change. Together, we can build a more sustainable future, one pantry product at a time.
Underwater discovery is so important these days. With so many people going to space, there's so much more in the waters to be explored. Here to share technology, not to help with just professionals, but enthusiasts as well, Dr. Susie Shin from DeepU.
Hi, everyone. In my middle school, I learned a poem named "What Lies Beyond the Mountains." The poet's mother told him, is a sea, lies beyond the mountains. This sentence became a seed, took root in the poet's heart, to inspire him to climb mountains, ranges after another, to search of it. At that time, I was a young kid from an inland city that had never seen the sea. So this poem, I visually learned about perseverance and also sparking my yearning to the ocean. After graduating from high school, I chose to attend a university of the coastal city. After receiving a scholarship, I continued my postgraduate and PhD study in Australia. Despite the fact I love ocean so much, but I rarely swimming so bad. But luckily, diving doesn't require that much swimming skills. So 2 years before, I went to the Great Barrier Reef for my first diving experience. The coral, the clownfish, the crystal blue water, every moment was so amazing. I want to capture it all to record every moment I see, as well as myself on the journey. But it doesn't seem feasible at that moment. So finally, I spent $75 for a photo of myself awkwardly smiling underwater with a sign on my hand. Yeah, I do look excited, but to be honest, a little golfy, right? So I feel I'm kind of an unqualified advertisement model, because why I'm the one who paying for it, but how the company sign? So on the way back to home, I start as a photo, and I have a realization. It's time to do something, huh? Maybe start by asking a refund from the company. No, something bigger. So in 2023, I formed a team with the initial funding from the INCUBATE to start the design and manufacturing of my first generation wireless underwater drone. Wireless, it means you don't need to be bothered by the tangling cables. Also, don't be too care about the limitation of the ranges. It is smart, it can follow you, recording you the whole journey during your diving. With the AI intelligent recognition and editing, after you go back to the shore, it can highlighting every shining moments of your journey and to give you a cutted video by one click. You look so beautiful with the dual-equipped lighting. It can restore the true colors of underwater and to make you look amazing. The underwater world is both mysterious and dangerous. The underwater incidents normally can lead to the life-threatening. And as well, we know that due to the nature of signal blockage in underwater, it could lead to the delay of the rescue efforts. DeepU not only aiming to be helping you recording your stunning moments, but also to secure your life journey safe. With our features functions, DeepU keeping to monitor your surrounding conditions and to give you timely warning. In the case of the emergency happens, the drone will instantly go back to the shore and to send the rescue signals. The global ocean economies in 2030 estimate to reaching $3 trillion. Keeping explore, DeepU aiming to be the pioneer of underwater world. DeepU have our own advantages of technology. Also, we have our stable customer base. We survey the reliable, customized solutions for robot design and production for customers in domestic and overseas. In 2024, we launched our first overseas branch with receiving over 1 million fundings. DeepU, we're keeping to cooperating with the world cutting-edge technology, and we're committed with our independent innovation. We're keeping to push the boundaries of underwater world. Looking back at the path I have taken, I have climbed countless mountains, just like the poem says. I climbed countless mountains, overcome a lot of difficulties. Yet again, I summoned my courage to move forward. Since the distant zero are still called to me, deeply dive into the future. Thank you.
All right, we're halfway through. We all good? Everyone's all good? Excellent, thank you. How many of you guys struggle with organizing your life, work and personal? I'm one of those people as well. If you saw my calendar, you'd be horrified. It's actually quite scary sometimes. Here to help with us, Catherine Mary Zed from Good Day.
I previously worked in government, using my political science degree to create legislation that passed through Parliament, working closely with ministers, CEOs and commissioners, all of which had their own personal assistants. And my life was great, but I just had one problem. I could not organise my personal life and felt like a constant failure. So naturally, I thought to myself, well, what if I could have my own personal assistant too? 2 weeks later, I started the University of Sydney's 12-week pre-accelerator program, conducting over 100 interviews with consumers and 25 interviews with businesses to conclude this fact. 80% of adults, particularly those aged between 25 and 42, struggle to organise their personal bookings, events and tasks because the process is manual, spread across multiple platforms, and even harder to organise and coordinate with other people invited. As a result, we are more likely to forget, double book and cancel last minute, all things that I was personally guilty of doing, causing businesses across industries to lose up to 30% of potential revenue. Businesses have booking systems, but those systems leave out the most important part, us, consumers making the bookings. This data was groundbreaking to me because it told me that I'm not at fault of being unorganised when the system itself is unorganised. So now it's time to change the system. My name is Catherine Mary Said. I am co-founder and CEO of Good Day. Good Day is the first centralised productivity SaaS app designed for both businesses and consumers. For consumers, our AI personal assistants will proactively organise your bookings, events and tasks using our fully integrated all-in-one application so that you can have a good day without the mental load for free. For businesses, our AI personal assistants will automate your bookings, tasks, customer and marketing management using our all-in-one platform, in opposed to the current 3 or 4 that are used, so that you can have a good day at work without the stress of admin. Our B2B pricing starts at $149 per month, undercutting competitors' $200 to $500 monthly rates. So this sounds great, but how does Good Day actually work? Well, do you know how it's a bit difficult at the moment to organise a night out with friends or family? With the Good Day app, you go in, you select your friends, you select the restaurant that you're wanting to book with, and you're presented with only mutually available times. From those mutually available times, you book in the app, and it goes straight into your calendar, straight into your friend's calendar, and the restaurant's Good Day platform. From then on, your AI personal assistant, during your daily briefings with them, will proactively remind you, automate and action all confirmations, as well as even organise transportation so that you can now make a booking and enjoy showing up for it without the pain of organisation. And what businesses gain is more business, more time back, and less cancellations. Everyone's a winner. That's Good Day. To ensure marketplace liquidity, we've designed a really strong single-player mode for consumers while we onboard businesses through our localised geographical expansion approach. We plan to target the hospitality vertical first. Prior to this, I was working for the 24-Hour Economy Commissioner on precinct activation, and prior to that, I was working with the Hospitality Minister managing that portfolio for him. I saw firsthand how the sector is struggling post-COVID, and also heard directly from industry leaders that they demand an app that is going to bring innovation and vibrancy back to our economy. Hospitality venues are no longer competing with one another, they're competing with at-home entertainment. It is easier to stay in than it is to plan a fun night out with friends, but now Good Day makes the process easy. So we're going to be targeting the hospitality vertical first, before inevitably expanding to other industries as well. We've even created features specialised to each industry in order to help them through post-COVID. For example, our Good Day Out and our Good Night Out feature, which uses our AI personal assistants to organise group outings with multiple businesses to activate localised precincts. The idea of Good Day started in February of this year. Since then, I recruited the dream team specialising in AI tech, B2B SaaS sales, product design, and strategy. Since February of this year, we have won Fishburner's AI Pitch Comp, conducted over 150 interviews, received sponsorship and support from COSBOA and the Australian government, pitched as a winner in the National E-commerce competition in Federal Parliament. We have alpha tested our MVP, won Genesis's Gold Night, and soon pitching for $30,000 as a finalist, and have 30 businesses across Sydney CBD that are going to pilot Good Day, along with 300 consumers on our waitlist, all while being completely bootstrapped. We started in February of this year, and I am very, very happy to say that today we launch our beta. The global productivity market is valued at $83 billion with a 14% compound annual growth rate. Our KPIs start at 300 B2B sales, along with 100,000 consumer downloads that will amount to $550K to be achieved in the next 6 months. So, my ask is simple. If you or someone you know runs a hospitality venue, then please see me afterwards. Otherwise, if you struggle to be organised just like me, then please scan the QR code and join our wait list so we can let you know when we launch post-beta testing. Our job, our mission, our life's purpose with Good Day is to help make people's lives easier in a really practical way. And so in order to fulfill this, beyond just being a tech solution, we pledge 1% of our profits to Good Day grants, funding non-profit organisations providing resources to disadvantaged communities. By supporting Good Day, we can help as many businesses, individuals, and communities as possible have a good day every day. Thank you.
It's so important to have safe infrastructure, not only for where you work, but where you live as well. The only issue is that these routing processes can be made more efficient. Here to help civil and structural engineers, Howie Huang from AIPD.
As a structural engineer of 10 years of experience, I faced countless challenges that are associated with this profession, one of which being the surprisingly lack of modern tools for engineers. For those unfamiliar, structural engineers are responsible for the safety and stability of the buildings, bridges, and infrastructure, so quite literally making sure that your house doesn't collapse. About 4 years ago, I decided to pursue a PhD and start coding seriously. And it was during this journey I found a significant gap. That technology has been evolved rapidly in other sectors. Structural engineers seem to be left behind. For example, many of us are still using Microsoft Word to prepare any documents, which was developed decades ago and not for engineering-specific tasks. This results in 1/3 of the time is allocated to administrative tasks such as formatting and editing. The cost of those inefficiencies is pretty significant considering the hourly rate of engineers ranging anywhere from $140 to $500. To be more specific, I'll give you a few examples. For example, when editing a large number of images, that's a particularly time-consuming job when using Microsoft Word, because Microsoft Word needs to handle them one by one, and sometimes this editing can break the whole document. And there's no version control at all. The version control that engineers have is basically copy the last file and adding a number to the name, so relying solely on the name convention for memory. And AIPD is planning to take down Microsoft Word for engineers with a modern, robust, AI-powered web editor. It's not only capable of reducing administrative tasks to minimum, but also have advanced AI functions. By putting it online, we can utilize the responsiveness and feasibility of the web to create a really good editor just for engineers. We will have real-time collaboration between engineers, reviewers, and the client. It can be accessed anywhere with internet connection. We'll have Advanced functions such like version control, drag and drop, automatic saving, and batch image editing, which solves one of the most painful things working with Microsoft Word. And we can also integrate with engineering cloud services such as 3D models and structural analysis APIs. And we did not just stop here. We also have advanced AI functionalities. Our current AI feature, which we call the template generator, so takes uploaded images as input, using computer vision to scan the images for any structural defects, and automatically prepares a condition report. What used to be an hour or 2 hours work now can be done in under a minute. And there's more. With the advance of large language models, we see more potential. Imagine a custom private AI assistant that trained exclusively on the company's past experience and knowledge, working as an assistant reviewer. So by the time the report reaches the hands of senior engineers, it's close to completion. And we can also teach those AI assistants to use existing engineering tools, bridging the gap between AI and the physical laws of structural engineering that us humans has been built for the past few hundred years. One engineer may be able to design 1 beam per hour, but AI assistant equipped with engineering tools can generate countless designs, limited only by the computational power. And there will be close to no hallucination of AI because those AI agents are using the same tools as those structural engineers. And this is not a dream. Those techniques are available on the market today. And this is the future AIPD is building towards. We have a solid founding team to make it happen. Apart from me, we also include Elias, who is one of the top postdoc researchers in the field of machine learning application in civil engineering, with dozens of publications in top-tier journals. We also have Som, a seasoned software engineer, who is the driving force behind the exclusion of our platform. We are launching workshops to demonstrate our products to the consulting firms, providing them hands-on demonstration of our capabilities and introducing them the advancing of AI and what that means for the industry. We are actively building the list of trial users to gain insights and feedbacks. We are seeking investment to drive growth and innovation. Our main goal is to expand the development team to deliver the key features asked by those consulting firms. And we also invite you to connect with us for potential partnerships and networking opportunities within the industry. Thank you.
Microalgae, not the sexy thing to talk about, but what if I told you that it could help with agriculture and cleaning wastewater? Here to show you how microalgae can reverse climate change, our first ever startup year participant, John Phipps from L1.
How many of you have seen Interstellar, by show of hands? A fair few. Well, for those of you who haven't, it's Christopher Nolan's space epic of humankind's survival and ingenuity in the face of planetary collapse. At the beginning of the film, Earth is portrayed as a dying planet, our home reduced to a dust bowl, struggling to produce enough food to sustain a growing population. Extreme weather and ecological collapse push humanity to the brink, searching for a new home to replace the one we've destroyed. I watched that movie when I was 13, and I couldn't shake the feeling that this dystopian future wasn't so far-fetched. We are already witnessing more frequent extreme weather events, the destruction of ecosystems, growing seasons that farmers have relied on for generations changing. The thought that my generation, my future children, could grow up in a world on the brink of environmental collapse is something I can't accept. But here's the thing, there's still time to change course. I'm John Phipps, CEO and co-founder of Alban. My team and I are here today to introduce our cutting-edge carbon capture project, Reversing Climate Change. The rapid destruction of our environment is an issue that affects every single person on this planet. Every single action we take, every kilometer driven, every product manufactured adds CO2 to our atmosphere, slowly shifting the delicate balance that has sustained life for millennia. Meanwhile, unsustainable agricultural systems has caused fertilizer prices to double in just 5 years. The result, a climate spiraling into instability. The problem is clear and the window for action is closing. Now, what if I told you that if we filled Australia's 5 largest mines with algae, we could offset the country's emissions for the past 8 years? This is the Fimiston open pit mine in Western Australia and is just one example of the many challenges we can address with our solution. We aim to solve the climate crisis by turning CO2 and wastewater into fertilizer. Algae is 50 times more efficient than trees at capturing CO2, and on top of that, it's full of the essential nutrients that make up the basic building blocks of life. The proof of concept photobioreactor we've developed over the past year captures carbon dioxide directly from the atmosphere. We accomplish this in several steps. First, wastewater is processed by our system. Air from the atmosphere is then pumped through to give the algae its CO2 to consume. The algae that is grown is harvested, dried, then fired in the kiln, turning it into biochar, a nutrient-dense, stable form of carbon mixed with soil to promote its health. For every ton of carbon dioxide we capture, we generate 1 carbon credit and purify several tons of wastewater. The biochar is sold as fertilizer to mine rehabilitation projects and farmers to create fertile soil. Meanwhile, the carbon credits are sold to companies to push us closer to net zero while pushing corporations towards responsible practices. Selling our fertilizer to farms in New South Wales alone could remove over 2.5 million tons of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and increase growth by over 20%. The global effort to reduce carbon emissions has created a market projected to exceed $80 billion by 2032. Albin plans to meet this gap in the market with our modular low-cost design. Our approach is scalable and offers measurable results. We know the exact amount of carbon dioxide we're capturing by the weight of the biochar buried. Our approach combats nutrient pollution, creates fertile soil, and restores ecosystems to health, both on land and underwater. For every ton of fertilizer we're selling, we're removing 3 tons of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. After joining local cleanup events along the Cooks River, we reached out to the Cooks River Alliance, Canterbury Bankstown LGA, and Sydney Water for partnership. Our new pilot system at Wiley Park will target harmful seasonal algal blooms that are caused by fertilizer runoff and other human activity. This is a huge milestone for us, allowing us to make a tangible impact on the community and the environment. We aim to spread and expand to water treatment centers across Sydney and partner with high-emission corporations to ensure we're delivering real impact. Our model balances profitability and impact, with fertilizer at $400 per ton and carbon credits at $200 per unit. This allows us to keep variable costs low as we scale, ensuring real impact as well as real profit. Our team, my experiences working on photobioreactors and irrigation systems for a vertical farm, Tom's experience at an accounting firm, and Abe's work at Corporate Carbon position us with the right set of experiences for the broad range of challenges that we would approach in this line of work. The team we've gathered touches on a broad range of disciplines from engineering, biochemistry, finance, and biochemistry. Our advisors include the director of microalgae collections, a senior legal advisor, and a former charity executive to help provide us with guidance as we grow. We're looking for angel investors to come with us on our journey to change the world. Please feel free to scan our QR code and join us in capturing change. Thank you.
Millions and billions of invoices are processed in Australia every year, but it takes a couple of minutes for those to be processed. Now we want to find a way to reduce these times significantly. Here to help with this, Hadi Abelgaida from invoicing.com.au.
Life's too short for invoicing. If you're still processing invoices manually in 2024, stop it. Get some help. My name's Hadi from invoicing.com.au, and we've built AI for invoicing. Every year in Australia alone, 1.2 billion invoices are processed, and 90% of them are still done manually. With the average invoice taking about 10 minutes to manually record, businesses are burning $5 on every single invoice that they process. You've got qualified accountants tediously typing out and cross-checking invoices all day rather than focusing on higher value work. When you consider that some businesses are processing thousands of invoices a month, it becomes clear that this inefficiency is costing businesses in Australia hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. What if you could be 10 times faster? What if you could save thousands of hours a year and add hundreds of thousands of dollars to your bottom line? And what if I said you could do all of that without switching your existing bookkeeping software? And that's exactly what we've done. Our software allows you to upload up to 50 invoices at once, and they're processed directly to Xero in less than 1 minute using our proprietary AI technology. Now, if you take a look on the screen behind me, we're inside our platform, and we can upload up to 50 invoices at once. We're going to hit upload, and they're going to get sent directly into Xero. So that's all the invoices right there. Let's open one up and take a look at that. Every one of the fields has automatically been filled out. Everything from the description to the quantity, right down to the tax rate, has all been automatically filled out. Now, this would ordinarily take about 10 minutes to do. Now, we've just done 50 in less than a minute. We've just saved 8 hours of time. You can do the maths on that. That's 1 minute for 50 invoices, or 10 minutes for one invoice. Now, how do we make money? Our business model is pay as you go. So users only pay for what they use. And that's 15 cents per invoice. That 15 cents is going to save businesses $5 on every single invoice. That's a 30x value add. Our key user segments, we've got 3. First and foremost, bookkeepers. One bookkeeping company might process invoices for up to 20 businesses at once. And so they've got the greatest lifetime value. So we'll focus all of our paid digital advertising on this segment. Secondly, you've got larger companies that are handling their accounts payable internally instead of using bookkeepers. We'll target industries like construction, hospitality, and pharmaceuticals because these industries are processing the highest amount of invoices. Last but not least, small business owners. Now, these people are often doing all their bookkeeping on their own. So our strategy here is to provide free value through a tool for creating invoices online. And what that will do is act as a funnel. We'll drive traffic through SEO, and that will be funneled and converted into paid users. This is a very cost-effective way of marketing. We'll also leverage Xero's platform, which has 4.2 million users, and will mutually benefit their user base and ours by providing them with 10 times faster invoice processing. Let's look at some numbers. The average bookkeeping company processes 500 invoices a month. That will save them 1,200 hours a year, or $29,700 worth of time, and we'll make $900 per annum on that. But we've just launched, and we want to grow to 1,000 users in our first year. That'll save bookkeepers all over Australia 1.2 million hours, or $30 million worth of time. And that will make us $900,000 of revenue in our first year, with an 86% gross profit margin. We're raising $120,000 to fund customer acquisition, and we estimate a 4-to-1 lifetime value to customer acquisition cost ratio on investors' money. We have $0 in fixed costs, and we're going to maintain that for the first year. And how is that possible? I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a software engineer, and so I've built this app all on my own. And what that means for investors is that we won't have to do any external hiring or pay any salaries for software development costs. We can hit all of those first-year targets with $0 of fixed costs. We only have 2 cents per invoice variable cost, and that means 100% of investors' money will go to customer acquisition. So again, $0 fixed costs, 2 cents per invoice variable cost, 100% of investors' money to customer acquisition. The funding round's closing at the end of November, but especially for Demo Day, we've opened it to all investors. So with only a $2,000 minimum investment, you can get involved as well. Now, we're ready to scale. We have a clear path to onboard thousands through Xero's network. So scan the QR code on the screen, come have a chat with me after, and let's make some money.
What happens when you combine 4 co-founders and the ability to produce a membrane to help reduce costs at a wastewater treatment plant? You get a company called Metasorb. Here to talk to you about all things water and nanocomposite technology, Anthony Sagranis from Metasorb.
I come from a long lineage of chemical engineers. My father worked in the water industry for over 25 years, specialising in membrane technologies. So, I've been giving class presentations on membranes since I was 7 years old. Naturally, life comes full circle. But before I continue, I know what you're all thinking. What the hell is a membrane? Put simply, think of a coffee filter, but for atoms. It stops viruses, bacteria, heavy metals, and allows pure water to flow right through. So let's dive into the problem. There's one main question on our mind. Why is it so expensive to clean water? Put simply, there's one simple answer. 65% of all costs of water treatment plants are associated with energy. A second subsequent question arises. Why so much energy? Well, two simple answers. Current membrane technologies have very high operating pressures, driving up energy costs. Secondly, they have poor fouling resistance, meaning they block quickly and lead to frequent cleans and replacements. So a bit about Metasorb's journey so far. Originally, we spun out of the University of Sydney through a thesis project, and now we're housed at Cicada Innovations, where we've been developing novel nanomaterials to help lower the operating and capital expenditure of water treatment plants. There are four main aims for our membrane. First, it must operate at low pressure. Second, we want a wide applicability. We want to be able to treat wastewater, seawater, brackish water, you name it. Thirdly, we want reusability. Current membrane technologies last between 3 and 5 years. We want to push that to 7 to 10. And lastly, our manufacturing. Current membranes are manufactured with forever chemicals called PFAS. These leach into the water supply after extended use, and we're eliminating them from our manufacturing processes. So, which target markets do we want to enter? Firstly, desalination, especially for the onset of green hydrogen. Second, brackish water for drinking water purposes. And thirdly, wastewater reuse and remediation. Well, how big are these markets, you may ask? The global water treatment market stands at around $346 billion, with $7 billion of that being attributed to the Australian sector. We're looking to grab just 5% of that market, the Australian, on entry to the market. So, the important question, how are we going to make our money? We're going to be bidding directly on government tenders, cutting out middleman process engineering companies and firms. This will lead directly to membrane sales, and we'll also be supplying rentable containerized systems for when our plants are down for maintenance. And lastly, we'll also be doing the servicing and maintenance of our plants for a fee. Now, the important part, how does our membrane work? Our membrane comprises of 2 layers. First, a porous polymer support layer and an active nanocomposite layer. Within our active layer is a self-assembly of our novel nano sheets. These form a pathway for water to seamlessly travel through while rejecting viruses, bacteria, heavy metals, you name it. So how do we stack up against the competition, you may ask? Well, we avoid the common defects of conventional membrane technologies, increasing our longevity. Additionally, we have even poor distribution, allowing us to operate at higher flows for just a fraction of the energy cost. Now, the team behind Metasorb. We have Alex, our CFO, Gabriel, our CTO, Lucas, our CSO, and of course, myself. So what's on the horizon for Metasorb as we look to the future? We've just finished phase 1 of our R&D, material synthesis and optimization. We're now moving to upscaled prototypes and in-environment specific testing. In the coming year, we're going to move to a pilot scale membrane that will eventually be incorporated into a system for use at scale. This is going to be the first time I'm announcing this here, but Metasorb is working to finalise a collaborative research agreement with the University of Sydney to commercialise our technology over the next 3 years. So our ask here today, we're looking for $1.5 million. A large chunk of this will go to our UCID partnership, but we're also looking to make our first hire ahead of commercialisation to oversee the entire process. But I have one last ask. Please connect with us, whether it be on our website, LinkedIn, or come say hi at the booth. Thank you.
There's a wave of low alcohol drinks and low alcohol drinks sweeping across Australia, but sometimes you just want a nice bottle of Sav, but not have it lying in your fridge for a week. Here to talk about moderate alcohol consumption positively, Katrin Jones from Osovino.
Moderation is sexy. It's sexy because when you drink less, it doesn't mean that you deserve less. And let me take a moment to explain that. Because generations were going out, getting wasted, and waking up the next day telling your hangover tales have grown up. We've got shit to do now. And generations who are coming of drinking age now are health conscious, and they're also conscious about what pops up on social media. So it's be absolutely no surprise for me to tell you that 40% of us are drinking less. But when you decide to drink less, it doesn't mean that you become boring. We as humans will always seek human connection and always want to discover new experiences. And where those two meet is when moderation becomes sexy. $5.5 billion is how much we Australians spend on alcohol every single year. That industry is dominated by big corporates. And those big corporates want us to buy more and spend more. I know because I was sat in that chair. I was the one who's making those decisions for one of the largest spirits companies in the world. And I left that big alcohol company to explode a growing, underserviced part of the market. It's our mission to make small bottles of alcohol a category in its own right. Think about what non-alc has done over the last couple of years. It's our mission to be the go-to for small bottles of wine and spirits for producers, for customers, and for consumers. And the journey has already started. Welcome, Oso Vino. Half the size, double the fun. So one of my mentors once said to me in one of our sessions, I get the data, I get the insights, I get why you, how are you going to make this happen? Are you just MVPing your way through this? Minimum viable product. Hell yeah, I'm MVPing my way through this. And right now, we have a very passionate, involved community of 500 people over socials. We also have over 100 customers, and in the last 30 days, 30% of our orders have been from returning repeat customers. Why do they come to us, I hear you ask? Why not just pop down to Dan Murphy's? Number one, we have exclusives. It's really, really sad to see family independent wineries closing their doors. We partner directly with wineries, and they bottle their wine in small bottles just for our community. Number two, I'm a wine lover, and we do not list crappy wines. Every single wine is delicious, tried and tested in its own right, so you know you're getting a quality bottle with an authentic story behind it. No more picking up a bottle purely based off its label and turning it round to see that it's just produced by Endeavour anyway. And third of all, what we've learned along the way is that our consumers can't be defined by gender or by age. But what they can be defined by is lifestyle and occasion. And what they've told us is that they want a friendly service that is flexible. So you could buy 100 of the same wines. You could also buy a couple of different bottles. It's totally friction-free. So all that leaves me to say is, let's be friends over a glass of wine. Please get out your phones, scan this QR code, hop onto our website, see if there's anything that tickles your taste buds or potentially could make a good Christmas present. Please follow us on Instagram and also come and talk to me about all things wine and booze and maybe a few cheeky samples. Thank you.
Don't leave. Don't leave. Could I just get all the speakers and their co-founders to come up? We're just going to do a quick group photo, and then we'll carry on to the next day. So, Bella, Metasorb, you dudes. Who else? Can't really see anyone else. But can we get everyone that's a co-founder, a speaker, to come on stage? We'll take a quick photo. Sorry, guys. We'll get it. We'll get this done as soon as possible. Come on. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Yeah, just bring them. Yeah, just bring them up. We also haven't planned this, so I don't know how we're going to do this. Keep squishing in, guys. There's a whole bunch of us. Keep going. Keep coming. We can have like have a second row. Could I get all of these guys to head to the back and get ready at their booths? All right, guys. We're almost there. So let's quickly talk about Class 20 and the diversity that has been coming through our INCUBATE cohorts as well. So in Class 20 alone, we've had 55% pre-accelerated graduates, 37 startups, 30% that are student startups. There is a 16-year age gap between our youngest and our oldest, 55% that are female founded, and 10 schools and faculties just within this cohort. And this is not an outlier. We've had an amazing diversity all through our programs throughout the years as well. If you want to know more, INCUBATE runs 3 programs. Startup Fundamentals, an 8-week online course where you can dip your toes in the industry, a 12-week hybrid pre-accelerator program going from your first idea to your first customer, and our 14-week in-person accelerator program, all about business growth, which you guys saw today. If you're looking for something a little bit shorter online, we also run Coursera courses as well. Through these programs and through our outreach this year, we've reached 23,000 people, and we're expecting this number to go bigger next year as well. I'd like to thank BBIP for using INCUBATE as an accelerator as a service. Without them, we wouldn't be doing our first ever Female Founders Pre-Accelerator program. We're looking forward to working with them again next year, and if you're looking to do more partnerships, come talk to me. We can discuss anything we can do as a service. Finally, to the thank yous. The first thank you is to the startup community, to the guest speakers, the mentors, the people that I just randomly message on LinkedIn to see if they can help. Thank you so much. Without you all, this program wouldn't be where it is. For the people that are here in person, for the people that are online, thank you. Is that the next slide? Apparently so. Anyways, oh yes, the next thank you is for the operational team at EEE, especially to Jo Webb. Without her, this event would not be going to place. I would be stressed out of my mind trying to organize this beautiful and very beautifully lit room for you guys and the booths at the back. Finally, I need to thank the INCUBATE team, aka Jen Muratori. I guess it's kind of been me and Jen against the world this year. Jen has been an absolute stormtrooper. She's the one behind the scenes that actually makes you look good, from all the automations to the community to the social media man to all the social media that she does. You are truly the MVP and have 100% you've been given like Employee of the Month for the last 7 months, and you've really truly been, I don't know what to say anymore. That's no words for you, Jen. If you're interested, please scan the QR code to join our newsletter. The other QR code is just to our email if you just want to contact us. Now, before I give the floor back to Jen, I want to end with a quote. I have forgotten the legal name of this person, but the artist's name is called Lady Gaga. I'm sure everyone knows about Lady Gaga. She once said, there could be 100 people in this room, and 99 of them don't believe in you, but it only takes one, and they can change everything. Hope you guys have a good rest of your night, and happy networking.
I can't add anything other than thank you so much for coming. Thanks for giving us your time and attention this evening. Please go and have a sexy, moderate drink, according to Katrin. Please join our founders out the back. They'll be able to chat to you more about their startups. They'd love to get to meet you. Stick around for a nibble, a drink. Thank you again so much for coming. Have a great night.